بسم الله. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. ثانية غفر الله لكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق سيد المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. أما بعد، يقول الله تعالى في كتابه المجيد وقوله الحق: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum, my dear respected brothers and sisters, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First and foremost, I send my condolences to the Imam of our time, Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman, as we are now passing through the nights of the shahada, of the martyrdom of his grandfather Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us and join us to those who Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam will be proud of, insha'Allah. In the aforementioned verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, O you who believe, fasting has been enjoined upon you the way it was enjoined upon those before you. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you can be God-fearing. Now, the key word that we would like to extract here from this verse of the Holy Quran is the word taqwa, meaning to be God-conscious. We may ask, Ya Allah, why have you chosen 1 month out of the 12 months in which we need to follow a certain guideline? We need to stop eating at a certain time. We need to break our fast at a certain time. We begin to build a connection, a stronger connection with the Holy Quran. Ya Allah, what is all this for? Ya Allah, is this just a sake of culture and ritual, or is there something you want from this, Ya Allah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O my servant, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. What we're supposed to take out of this holy month is that it is supposed to increase us in taqwa. Is it taqwa just within the holy month of Ramadan? Or no, are we supposed to use Ramadan as a training ground so that when we exit the holy month of Ramadan, we don't enter the same way? Al-Imam al-Khumayni rahmatullah alayhi, he said, poor is the one who enters the holy month of Ramadan and leaves the same way. There is a beautiful narration in which the Holy Prophet Dawood alayhi salam, he says, Ya Allah, tell me who will be my qareen in Jannah, who will be on the same level as me, who will have the same level, the same status as me in Jannah. So Jibreel comes down and he says, O Dawood, if you go to this place and this place, you will see this individual. So Nabi Allah Dawood, he goes, and as he's going, he's thinking to himself, this individual, to be at the same status in Jannah with a prophet, he must have some beautiful characteristics, some beautiful attributes. Does he have a lot of wealth in which he gives to the poor? Or does he have a lot of knowledge in which he shares with the community? So he goes, he arrives, and before he greets this man, he sees this man has a small shop and he sells fish. So he looks and he sees some normal transactions going on. People are coming, they're buying fish, and they're leaving. So the Prophet Dawood approaches the man. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Do you know who I am? Yes, of course, it is an honor to have you at my shop. The Prophet said, do you mind if I stay with you for a few moments and observe? The man said, this will be an honor for me. So the Holy Prophet sits down and he sees what's taking place. There's nothing special going on. So the Prophet thinks to himself, this man must be doing some special deeds when he gets back home. So he says to the man, do you mind if I accompany you back home? He said, this will also be an honor for me. So they go together. When the shop closes, they go back home. On his way home, he stops, he buys a few groceries. And when he gets home, he prepares him a meal. He gives a plate to the Holy Prophet, he gives a plate to his mother, and he gives a plate to his father. They eat and they finish. So the Prophet Dawood is thinking to himself, what's going on here? What does this man have? And then it was at that moment in which the man said, "O Allah, if you did not allow me to wake up today, I would be dead the same way some people did not wake up from their bed. And this is only because you are such a merciful Lord, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, if you did not give me the health and the strength to wake up and go out to work, then Ya Allah, I would not be able to. I may be like some individuals who are sick. And Ya Allah, if you did not give me the rizq to own a store, this will also be something that I cannot do by myself. And Ya Allah, if you did not place the love and the kindness in the hearts of your servants towards me, who would come and buy from me, Ya Allah? And then on top of this, Ya Allah, you gave me the honor so that the Holy Prophet Dawood came and visited my shop today. And as I was coming back home, you gave me the health and the rizq to buy some food and then prepare that food and serve it to my mother, my father, and the Holy Prophet. فَلَكَ الشُّكْرُ وَالْحَمْدُ يَا رَبِّ. And it was at that moment that the Holy Prophet Dawood began to cry. And at that moment, Jibreel comes down and he says, O Prophet Dawood, this man will have the same status with you in Jannah because he remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at every moment. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So my dear respected brothers and sisters, we remember this narration because remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is something in which I and we can all use insha'Allah to help us on the path to taqwa, to becoming someone who is God conscious. Now what exactly do we mean by this? The late Ayatollah Shaykh Bahjad rahmatullah alayh, when he had finished a class with his students, they said to him, can you please take a bit more of your time and give us a lesson on akhlaq, on morals. Teach us how to be amongst those who are pious. He said one verse of the Quran and he left. He said, أَلَمْ تَعْلَمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَرَى? Do you not know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you? Do you not know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you when you are at your workplace, when we are at school, when you are with your friends, when you are with your families, your wives? No matter where you may be, no matter what you are doing, no matter what action you are about to do, no matter what decision you are about to take, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of this. If I think that I can get away with an action in this dunya, maybe someone doesn't find out, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is waiting for us in the hereafter. Meaning what? Meaning there is a day where we will be judged for our actions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O my servant, this holy month of Ramadan is your training ground to work towards an individual who has taqwa. Not only in the mosque, where in front of my brothers, I wear a ring on my finger and I hold a masbaha and I have a mark on my forehead. But when I leave the mosque, I'm a different person. Not to be God-fearing in front of my mother and my father, but when I'm with my friends at school, I'm a different person. Because we cannot fool Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There is a beautiful narration from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which he says, pay more attention to performing deeds with piety, with taqwa, than doing deeds without it. For actions with piety is never considered little. How can an accepted action be considered little when God has said, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts only from the pious. Now you may ask me, why should I even think about, why should I have even the intention of wanting to become an individual who has more taqwa, or work towards being an individual who wants to increase their taqwa? The prerequisite for the acceptance of actions, my brothers and sisters, is taqwa. At the end of these nights, these very holy nights, الليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر, we say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, I came to the mosque and I read dua iftitah and dua Jawshan al-Kabir and dua Aba Hamza al-Thamali. I prayed 100 units of prayer. Ya Allah, I done this mustahab action and this mustahab action and this mustahab action. Ya Allah, did you write it down for me? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, my servant, these are noble traits and actions to do, but this is not what I asked of you. This is not what I asked of you. Imam Ali alayhi salam was walking with Abu Dharr, and Abu Dharr could hear the recitation of a man who was reciting the Quran. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam said, O Abu Dharr, do not allow his melody to inspire you. Do not allow his melody to fool you, because he is from those who will be in the hellfire. How, O Amir al-Mu'mineen, how is this possible? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only accepts the actions of the pious, of those who are at least trying to tread the path of taqwa. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So inshaAllah, I pray, and I ask you all inshaAllah to pray for me, and inshaAllah we will do the same, so that we can truly benefit from these nights. Not come, do our actions, and we go back to our normal lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, بَلِ الْإِنسَانُ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ بَصِيرًا وَلَوْ أَلْقَى مَعَاذِيرًا. Every single one of us knows ourselves very well. Even if we make excuses, we know if our issue is with ghibah. We know if our issue is a haram relationship. We know if our issue is swearing. We know if our issue is disrespecting our parents. We know if our issue is every single insan, every single human being knows himself very well. Excuses, you may be able to fool yourself with them now, but there will come a day where excuses will be of no benefit but regret. So insha'Allah, we take the opportunity within these nights, especially tonight, to yes, participate within the a'mal, the mustahabbat, but say to yourself, what is something that I need to change on this night? I can make a pact, a ahad with Sahib al-Asri wal-Zaman. with Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, who was the Prince of Taqwa, our role model, and say, Ya Allah, tonight I'm going to promise you, Ya Allah, on Laylatul Qadr, on this night, on this very holy night, to try my best to leave ghibah. I will not be amongst those who backbite anymore. This action, my brothers and sisters, I will not be exaggerating if I tell you that leaving this action, this sin, will increase your rank than reading Dua Jawshan al-Kabir 5 times tonight. We ask, Ya Allah, Allahumma bihaqi Muhammad wa Fatima wa Ali wal Hasani wal Husayn wa tis'at al-ma'asumin min dhurriyyat al-Husayn alayhi salam, Ya Allah, please allow us to participate and be involved within the a'mal that you want us to perform on these nights with ikhlas, with taqwa. Ya Allah, inspire us to change on these nights to become better individuals, Ya Allah. And Ya Allah, allow us to be amongst those who hasten for the reappearance of Sahib al-Asri wal-Zaman and not prolong his occultation, insha'Allah. Saying that, can we please recite as-salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad? Can we please also recite Surah Al-Fatiha for Dr. Ahmed Talib, who passed away a few days ago, a respected brother to all those in the community. Can we please recite Surah Al-Fatiha with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad?